Grace. We'll be practicing a hip opener practice today with a focus. Let me see if I remember what our focus was. Opening to love in present moment gratitude. Beautiful. I like that focus. So we're going to be opening the hips, and we'll be opening our hearts and our minds to love in present moment gratitude. Beautiful. So let's begin the practice. Sitting in a comfortable position, a nice easy seat. You have something under your sits bones if you'd like. That brings those hips in a more comfortable position. And beginning to breathe into the lower belly. Breathe into that belly, letting it expand out on the inhale and allowing the belly and the navel to come in towards the spine on the exhale. Nice deep belly breaths as we begin to draw our awareness inward. And drawing our awareness into that opening present moment gratitude. And as we always have a group intention, we also set a personal intention. So taking a few more breaths and bringing the awareness inward, the attention inward, and bringing the mind to a more still, quiet place where we can let thoughts go. And as we move through the practice, our intention is really to let the thoughts go. This is our time right here now to be with ourselves in a deep way and focused on the self. And if we're focused on a lot of thoughts about the past, the future, we are not really present to the self in the present. And thinking is a different state. It's a different vibration than that state of being. So when we're in the static of thought, it's a different wavelength than being. So being, when we're in the state of being, we're in the body, we're in being, and it's a very different vibration than that thought thinking energy. So we're going to practice throughout this hip opener flow, being present and basking in that state of being rather than entertaining the thinking. And so our monkey minds will naturally go back to thinking from time to time. And when we notice it, we're just going to very kindly, very gently, like a little 2-year-old, a little toddler that's walking off in the wrong direction, we're just going to bring it back with love and kindness and bring it back to the present, basking into the heart, into that beingness, into those waves of our own inner aliveness. And just checking in, making a observation of the inner being, beginning to sink down a little deeper into a state of being rather than the active thought disturbances. And notice the sensations, the vibrations within you, the heart beating, becoming more and more intimate with the inner aliveness, the inner soul presence within. Breathing into the belly so that we're triggering that parasympathetic nervous system, that relaxation response. We want to stay out of the sympathetic fight or flight, unless, of course, We need that if we're in grave danger. But we want to be in the parasympathetic, where the body can restore and relax and be at peace. And this is where we want to be the majority of the time, unless we are in a emergency situation. And we're grateful for that sympathetic nervous system. And taking this moment now to set your intention as we relax the mind and body more and more, visualizing your consciousness, your mind, as a beautiful, radiant pool of crystal clear, infinitely deep water. And seeing in your mind's eye the visualization of that pool of water, glass smooth. This is an analogy for your consciousness, your inner mind. Silent and still, receptive. As we become so present, that present moment gratitude, opening the heart. And setting your personal intention now can be a phrase, making it present tense. I have the life of my dreams, whatever that is, the job, the career, the love. What is it that your hearts desire? It could be a symbol or a picture. And we're going to very powerfully and our full power place it into the pool of our consciousness, into our mind. And we're going to take just 3 minutes dropping this into our consciousness, breathing into the belly, present, feeling the earth underneath us, supporting us, and creating the emotions, seeing the visualizations, everything that is manifested in the physical realm is first manifested in the imagination, the mental realm. It's simple, like we have to draw out an architectural drawing on paper before we put the building into the ground, real life. So we're going to create that mental picture. We're going to give that intention some attention. Visualizing, seeing yourself, seeing the smiles, and feeling the emotions. I invite you to do that now. Be deeply with yourself in this intention. Feeling all the emotions you feel, having this intention fully manifest here now in the present moment. And then gently, kindly coming back from your visualizations, joy, the peace that visualization created for you. And we're going to come into our body and we're going to begin some neck rolls. So let's bring the chin down to the chest. Just feeling a stretch on the back of the neck for a moment. And we're going to be engaging what we call bandhas. They're energy locks, and that seals the energy in, locks that energy in as we build the prana through the breath and holding the pose. Our pelvic floor is our mula bandha. There's 3 locks. We're going to engage that pelvic floor and feel a lift. Nice, gentle engagement. Second bandha is Uddiyana bandha. We're going to bring the belly in and up. Slight engagement, and the belly's coming up. It's almost like your navel's moving up an inch. And Jarandala bandha. The chin is going to come in a little, and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. And as we hold these bandhas, these energy locks and seals, and we bring the prana and the life force into the body, we build and intensify the energy of the body. And let's begin to roll the neck in whatever direction feels best to you first. And allowing yourself to go slow enough so that you're feeling the sensations in your neck. If you feel a little spot you want to massage, go with that. And just relaxing the head as you roll around. And as we go through this practice, you're always welcome to opt out of a pose. You're always welcome to come out of a pose sooner than I will be prompting you. You can actually stay in the pose longer. It's your practice, and you're free to follow that. If you ever feel pain, back off. We don't force or strive in this practice. We stay on the edge, and we allow the body to open in a very gentle and kind way. And we find that this actually opens the body deeper and more so than if we were to try to force it. And we protect the body. Let's go the other direction with the head. This is about ease and grace and flow. We're not forcing, we're not striving. we're being present with the body in a very gentle way, a very loving way, and we're also creating some effort so that the body can open and stretch and become more balanced and stronger and more flexible. Continuing to move in the other direction and just feeling the sensations, fully present to yourself. And we're opening our hearts to that present moment gratitude, to this moment as it's arising for us as a gift. This gift is from our soul, from the universe, from the God within that animates through us, channels through, and animates through this being. This body temple, this temporary body temple that we have, this sacred temple, coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's do some circles around the pelvis. Bring the whole torso around the pelvis. And again, fully present to the sensations. I'm grateful for those sensations. Feeling everything fully, just being with yourself for a little while in your body, this body temple, as an extension of the soul. Pixelated, animated extension that is temporary, that the soul can animate through. And so we want to, this is our tool, this is the channel, this is the flute, the instrument. And we want to take good care of it as respect, as a sacred temple that it is. And it's moving in the other direction. Do our best to take the best care of it. And we do our best to take the best care of our mind, which that intelligence flows through as well. And with a healed mind, a whole mind, that power can create miracles. With a disturbed mind, with a mind that is basking in a lot of disturbances or untruths and lies about what it really is and what each moment is, and interpretations that may not be true, that create conflict rather than peace. So when the mind is in conflict, it cannot be that channel. Channel is not as pure, coming back to center. And so we're working on the body and the mind so that the spirit, which is just that pure energy, that source, is an extension from source moving through us, can move through in a beautiful way, our own unique way. Beautiful. And let's come into Vadakanasana. We're going to bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together. We're going to wrap the hands around the feet. And we can kind of rock back and forth a little bit. Feels so good. Remembering to enjoy being in your body. Being grateful. Let's flap our wings. It's nice to feel the different stretches and to allow the sacredness to embody even deeper into maybe even some areas and muscles, parts of our body that have not been so embodied. The intelligence has not been, the awareness has not been. We're aware of our legs and our knees. Let's slow down those butterfly wings to a stop, and then pressing those knees and those legs down towards the earth. And if you can't get them down, sometimes it's nice to put a block underneath if you want to. That's okay. Be honoring wherever you are at. Everyone is at different places. Honoring your body with total unconditional love wherever it is at right now. Of gratitude for being that temple that houses and allows that divine intelligence, the God source of your being that sustains your existence to flow through and animate and create in this temporary 3D world. Inhaling, extending up, and bringing love into this world, bringing light into this world in your own unique way. Exhale, we're going to fold forward at the hips. Bring love into this world in your unique way, a way no one else can exactly bring this all-loving presence into the world. You have your own special way. No one else has. We're going to engage the bandhas and breathe. And I invite you to close your eyes for these 3 breaths and really dive into the sensations in your hip, your body, your heart. Not only your physical sensations, but the energy sensations within you. And let's take those breaths now. And gently and kindly coming up. Beautiful. Feeling that real nice hip opener. I'm going to go into single leg forward fold. This is a hip opener flow. I'll be moving in the hips a lot. Left leg is out. My right sole of my right foot is resting on the inner thigh of the left leg. Inhaling, lengthening the spine again. Exhaling, hinging forward. Bringing the hands down to the earth as you hinge forward. And we're going to hinge until we find that edge. So we're not forcing, we're not lazy either. And we're at maybe a 7-ish. So feeling that edge when it feels right, where you can stop the back of your legs. You're saying, that's good. And let's engage those bandhas and take a nice deep breath. Spine is still straight. We haven't rounded the spine yet. And at the very bottom of that breath, see if you can hinge in the hip a little bit deeper. It's beautiful. And then when you find your edge here, then allow the spine to round, coming towards the knee, wherever you are in the pose. You can flex and extend that front foot for new beautiful sensations. And taking a few breaths here as you bask in the sensations of this beautiful forward fold. Forward folds invite inward attention. See if you can be with yourself deeply. You want to massage your foot. Remember to massage it as a holy foot, a sacred foot. Temple of the divine. And on your next inhale, hinging up. And all the way up, and then allowing that spine to straighten up and back to neutral. And let's switch the legs. We're going to bring the right leg out. Left leg bent in, left sole of the foot resting on the inner thigh of the right leg. Allowing that right foot to flex and extend, finding that hinge at the hip and hinging forward. Hands on the earth and finding that edge for yourself. And let's take a nice deep breath here, keeping the spine straight, just breathing into this edge in the forward fold. And the very bottom of the exhale, hinging a little deeper if you can. And then allowing the spine to round, allowing the head to come in, and bringing that awareness inward to the south. Massaging your sacred foot, recognizing this is the temple, the divine to embody, sacred embodiment. On your next inhale, coming up, that's Xander. So we have a Ecstatic Yoga Cat Xander. Okay, so we are going to be moving into a hero pose. Now let's move into fire log pose. We're right here. So we got the legs out, and we are going to, let's take this right one out a little more, and let's take the left leg, and we're going to bring it right over to line up on the right knee, right above the knee there. And then the right leg coming in, the right ankle lining up just below the left knee. Now, I have a little flexibility issue here, so you can put a block in there if you want, or a cushion. I just kind of let it suspend itself. And we're going to flex those feet. Both feet are flexed. Both feet are flexed. We're all lined up here. And then we're bringing the hands to the earth, beginning to hinge forward in this amazing fire log pose. Bringing the hands in front if you want. Side to hinge forward. And engage those bandhas, and let's breathe and bask in the sensation. The gift of our heart in this present moment, opening up, flowering. On the next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. And let's release that and go on to the other side. So this left leg is going to be out. We'll bring them both out. Leg stays out. Right leg is going to bend. Right ankle just above the left knee. And then we're going to bring the left leg in. It's parallel to the mat. We're going to line it up so that left ankle is below the right knee. And then feel those feet flex. Allow this leg to relax if you can. You can put a cushion under here. And let's inhale as we lengthen. Exhale, hinging forward and finding your edge. Can't go as far forward on this side. So each side is going to feel a little different. And that's okay. And let's engage the bandhas. Once you get into your edge, you get into your pose, and breathe. Bring in the prana and the life force. We lock it in and seal it in. So our chi, our prana, our vitality increases with every breath, creating greater and greater health, aliveness. One more breath. And on the next inhale, coming up. Beautiful, beautiful job. And we're going to come into a frog. We've got two different kinds of frogs. So we're going to do the hard one first and the easy one last. So we're going to come on our knees, and here we are in our frog. We're going to open up the knees a little bit. Mandukasana. Mandukasana. Manduk. And then we're going to bring the hands in front of us, and we're going to take the feet out wider than the knees. So bring those ankles and those feet out wider than the knees. And in this pose, instead of hinging forward, we're going to hinge those hips back and feel that hip opener. So it's a nice way to kind of counter pose. So start to bring those hips back and feeling the hip opener here. You need to put a blanket under your knees. You can do that. And wherever you are, I'm not going back very far. Find that edge and let's engage those bandhas and let's breathe in our Mandukasana frog. Diving in, present moment stillness, gratitude, keeping the heart open. One more deep breath. And on your inhale, coming back to your neutral position. Now we're going to move into our hero. So we're going to bring those knees back about hip width apart. Then this one we can use a block if you like, or which you can put right behind you and rest your sacrum on. And spread your knees out a little bit. Or not, you can just come down onto the earth. So my knees are open and my knees are a little more than hip width apart. And I'm going to bring my buttocks right flat down to the earth. So the legs are on the side. My hero pose. And now I can bring those knees back together. And we'll sit in this hero's pose. I'm going to move myself this way. And begin to breathe as we engage the bandhas and just rest. The shoulders are back, the heart is open, relaxing the shoulders down, away from the ears, feeling the crown chakra extend up to the earth, and just resting in this pose. And you can hold the hand mudra, the chin or hakini, just resting in the pose. And breathe, engaging the bandhas. And we're going to come back. We're going to bring our hands back behind us and we're going to move into a Supta hero. So here is Varasana. So this is going to be Supta Varasana. We're going to come down really slowly. So we're going to bring the hands behind us. And then we're going to nice and slowly bring one elbow and forearm at a time. You can have your hands, you can spread those knees open a little bit more. You can put your hands on your feet. And just coming very slowly down so you're flat on the mat. Pressing those legs down, engage the bandhas, and breathe. You can't come down to your mat, just remain on your forearms or your hands. Feeling the stretch in the quadriceps, fully present. and a sense of gratitude and appreciation, thankfulness for this moment, this body, all that is arising now. Allowing the heart to flower and open more and more with every breath. One more breath. And we're going to gently and kindly come up onto the elbows, up, and we're going to move into a child's pose, forward counter pose. And those hips back and opening the knees and allowing the belly to come in between the legs, reaching the arms out or having them alongside the body. And we're going to take a few breaths in child's pose as we deeply connect with our own heart, with gratitude and love and present moment awareness. And gently and kindly coming up. I promised you the other Mandukasana, the easy one, so let's go there first. So we're going to be in our hero's pose, or you can even come up onto your calves for this. I prefer that, and scooting the legs out. And we're going to take two fists, and we're going to bring them together, and we're going to bring them into just at the navel here. And feel for yourself whether that's a little below the navel or a little above the navel. And that will change from person to person, from day to day for me. So just kind of feel weird today because we're going to be stimulating the digestive system. Maybe the large intestine needs a little more stimulation at this point in the day. So hour to hour this changes. And maybe the small intestine needs a little more. So we're just around the navel, either a little below or a little above, but just feeling where that is perfect for you today. And taking a nice deep inhale and elongating the spine. And on the exhale, you're going to hinge forward in those fists gently in the belly, making sure it's comfortable, relaxing it back if it's not. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here, allowing the head to come as low as you can put a block in front of you to bring a block down. I think I'll do today. And we go all the way down. Engaging the bandhas in, breathe. And on the next inhale, hinging back up. Beautiful job. We're going to move into Malasana, seated squat. So we're going to come up to the feet. And let's come up to the feet and let's bring the hands in the center and let the knees come out to the sides a little bit. And see if you can bring those heels down to the mat. I have a little trouble with that. Flexibility there is not the best. And just moving into this nice squat for yourself. And some people like to bring it up a little. Some people like to bring it down. Find where it feels good to you. Balancing in this squat. And let's engage the bandhas. And let's breathe. And bring your awareness in. And on your next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves down to our knees, and we're going to come onto our hands and knees in a nice table pose. Table pose for ourselves. Knees are right under the hips, and the wrists are right under the shoulders. The fingers are spread out a little, and we might call spider grip, possibly. And the arms are strong, and we're going to move into some cat-cow flexion and extension of the spine. So as we inhale into our cow, we're going to stick the tailbone up, allow the back to arch. That lumbar spine is extending. Head and heart come up. Heart is open, and this is a beautiful place to inhale. Exhaling into cat as we tuck the tailbone under, round that back, pushing the lumbar up into flexion. And exhaling here, the head can drop and gaze in towards the stomach and the thighs. And inhaling into our cow. And moving and flowing at your own pace. Create this as a moving meditation for your own self, present in gratitude. Breathing, engaging the bandhas. Feeling your conscious awareness embody this physical body even deeper. Slow enough so you can be fully present to sensation as you flow. Staying present in the body rather than drifting off in thought and being unconscious. Fully present to all the sensations, entire body 360 degrees, and enjoying basking in this nectar of embodiment. Begin to add your own little variations. Maybe as you go back, as you go into your cat, you can hinge those hips back a little for a nice stretch on the lower back. You might make circles. Stretch a little side to side. Begin to be present in your body and feel what feels good to you as you flow in your cat-cow spontaneously at your own pace, fully present, basking in the beautiful sensations of how the body moves in table, cat-cow, and breathe. and coming back to center. We're going to move into a low lunge. You can open up those hands a little bit, and we're going to bring that left leg up between the hands. And you can take that right knee and bring it back a little. You can put a blanket under that knee if you have any knee issues. And both hands are on either side of the left foot. The right hand is a little out further. And we're going to begin to hinge forward, opening up that right hip and finding your edge there. Nice hip opener on the right side, engaging the bandhas, and let's bring in the prana and the life force with the breath. Fully present. Beautiful. Begin to hinge back a little bit. And we're going to move into a pigeon on this side before we move on to the other side. So we're going to take that front foot and we're going to bring it, bend it, and we're going to try to get that shin as parallel to the front of the mat as we can. I have a difficult time with that, but do the best you can. And we're going to bring that back leg back as much as possible. Bring in the hands forward if you can. Trying not to roll back onto that hip. Keep it balanced and square. And let's engage the bandhas and breathe into this beautiful hip opener. You should feel it in that right hip. You can hinge forward if you like. You can come down to your palms, but I don't feel as much hip opening as when I'm up. And engaging the bandhas and breathe. Beautiful job. And coming out, we're going to bring that knee back. And let's bring that knee back to the forward and let's move into our blaster pose. So we're in our lunge pose here, our low lunge, and we're going to take that left hand and we're going to bring it on the inside of the left foot. So both left and right hands are on the inside. And again, we're going to move that leg back, that right leg back, and begin to hinge forward. And you can use a block here. Always welcome to use a block if that helps for you. And you're also welcome to come down onto the forearms. Go a little deeper into the pose. And let's engage the bandhas and breathe. And on your next inhale, coming up and moving back into your table pose. Let's move back into child's pose for a moment. Relaxing, we're going to go over to the other side, but we're going to just allow that to integrate. Bring the head down and spending this time directing our attention single pointedly in towards our heart, our higher self, that soul presence, that extension of the divine source within us. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. And coming back up, we're going to move over to Anjanae Asana, low lunge on the other side. So we're going to bring that right foot up, and we're going to take that left leg, bring the knee back a little bit, just open up the hip. And both hands firmly on the mat. We're going to begin to hinge forward, opening up that left hip. Finding your edge here. Once you're on that edge, feeling that beautiful hip opener. Engage those bandhas and let's bring in the breath and the prana. Intensifying that chi within our own being. Beautiful. Hinging back to center. Let's move into our blaster this time first. Bringing that right hand in, the inside of the left foot. Both hands are on the inside. Again, hinging forward and remembering, if you like, you can come to a block here. You can come down to your forearms. Engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. Let's bring in the prana. Now the next inhale, coming up, back into neutral. And we're going to bring the hands open again on either side of that right front foot. We're going to bend that right foot so the shin is as parallel to the front as possible. I'm not able to do that very well, but we do the best we can. Balancing those hips squarely above. Watching so that the hip doesn't roll over and get lazy. And we're going to hinge forward slightly and gaze up into a beautiful pigeon. And feeling that opening. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Beautiful job. And releasing, coming back up into table. And we're going to move up onto our knees and move into Ustrasana, Camel. And with the camel pose, the first thing we like to do is to tuck that tailbone under. Tuck it under so we open up this lumbar vertebrae space here so nothing crunches. Gives us a lot of space. Bringing the hands to either side of the lumbar, right? The small of the back, elbows are coming in towards the body. And the hips are right over the knees. So right over the knees. And as we go into a little back bend, we're going to bend back, opening the chest, allowing the head to be just simply in alignment with the spine. We're not dropping the neck. We're keeping it in line with the spine. Feeling a beautiful back bend, wherever that is for you. We're going to engage the bandhas. Bring those hips forward so they're still lined up with the knees. Sometimes they drop back. If you'd like to come all the way down to your heels or you'd like to come up to the feet, I like coming up to my feet. coming down to my heels. It's perfect for me. Opening up the chest. Engaging the bandhas and breathe in your full Ustrasana Camel. One more breath. Next inhale coming up. Bringing the hands to the back. Moving into child's pose. Opening up the knees and allowing yourself to really enjoy being in your child's pose. Going within, directing all the love and all the attention into your own heart. With gratitude. From the next inhale coming up. And we're going to come onto our backs. And we're going to move into a beautiful Supta Pigeon, where we're on our back, supine Vadakanasana. So let's rock back and forth with the knees into the chest, just to release and relax that lower back. And then bring both feet to the mat. Knees are up. And we're going to take that right foot and we're going to rest it on the left knee, the left, just top of the hamstring there, bottom. Resting it just below the knee, above the knee. Such a crazy position when we're here, because when we're standing, it's above the knee. When we're sitting, it's below the knee. And it is the bottom of the hamstring. So we're just resting it there. And then we're going to take that left foot and we're going to lift it off the mat, bringing the left leg in towards the body, bringing the hands behind the hamstring, the left hamstring. And we're going to gently pull the left leg in towards the body, feeling a nice hip opener on the right side. And again, finding your beautiful edge that feels so good, edge where you do feel some effort, some stretch, some opening. Engage those bandhas and breathe into the pose, fully present to all the beautiful sensations, basking in that nectar. On your next exhale, letting that left leg come back down to the earth. And we're going to switch legs. So the right knee's up, right foot is on the mat, resting that left leg on the right knee. And we're going to lift that right leg up. Right leg's coming towards the body, clasping the hands behind the right hamstring. And we're going to pull that right leg into the body, feeling a nice hip opening stretch on the left side. Feel free to flex or extend the feet. Engaging the bandhas, and let's breathe as we bask in the nectar, bask in the sensation. And on your next exhale, releasing the leg. And bring those knees into the chest, wrapping those hands around, and then just rocking back and forth. Feels so good. And we're going to bring those knees out wide, so they're out by the armpits. Bring the feet so the soles of the feet are facing the sky. Bring the hands around the outside edges of the feet. And let's gently pull the knees down towards the earth. If they're going towards the armpits, we want to protect the ribs. This is a baby pose. We're resting the back flat on the mat. We're not lifting the buttocks up at all. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Beautiful. If you'd like to move into Ananda Balasana, happy baby, just kicking around, rolling around, doing any last little stretch or pose that you'd like to do that your body may have missed. Move into a Savasana. Beginning to get your body ready into Savasana. You can either have your legs up the wall or you can be resting flat on the mat. I like to have the palms up and the arms a little away from my body and the feet flopping out. When we have the feet in, we're protecting ourselves. When they're flopped out, we're open, we're safe, we're open to receive. And this is a time of receiving and allowing the body to integrate all the energies of this practice. In the heart opening as we rest in the present moment, gratitude, whatever is arising in this moment, whatever sounds, smells, sensations, simply open in gratitude to receive, fully present. Body's completely relaxed. And we'll bask in silent stillness, pure conscious awareness. Beginning to take a nice deep breath into the belly. Finding your natural breathing rhythm. Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Stretching out the arms and legs. And gently rolling over to one side or the other. Taking the breath here. And when you're ready, coming up to a seated position. Taking this moment to check in with yourself, scanning the being. What's inside? Noticing that spaciousness. Sense of transparency. Noticing the energies, the energy body, the pranamaya kosha. And bringing yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice and feeling those emotions again. And send that with a this or better. This or better. The universe has an even more spectacular vision. And we'll receive that. See if I have a spontaneous chant inside. Oyate ki oniyate ke asunde he he ahate kondiyate se ahende he ate he honde ke ahonde haya honde ke he honde haya honde ke ahonde I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, We are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Ecstatic Yoga Hip Opener practice. Check out our websites for our teacher trainings and our retreats. And I wish you the most beautiful and most blessed day.